If you're looking for a cheap handheld vacuum with premium level cleaning performance, the Black+Decker FurBuster might surprise you. In real-world tests, its airflow and cleaning performance exceeded expectations, especially for the price. But it is a budget option, and that means there are some clear drawbacks and limitations you'll want to know before buying. I've spent the past few days putting this thing through a full set of real-world tests, and in this video, I'll show you exactly where the FurBuster shines and where it falls short. First, let's talk features. One thing I really like is the self-standing design. The wide base lets the FurBuster sit upright on its own. And as long as you have an outlet nearby, we can plug the charger right into the port here and keep it topped up. In terms of attachments, you don't get much out of the box. Just a built-in crevice tool and a mini motorized brush. It does limit versatility somewhat, but the upside is convenience. Nothing gets misplaced because everything is built in. Where the FurBuster really stands out is power, specifically airflow. Using an anemometer, I measured about 39 CFM on low and nearly 70 CFM on max, which is shockingly close to some of the Dyson models I've tested. And it's not just impressive on paper, you can see that power in the cleaning tests. Whether it was Quaker oats, coffee grounds, quinoa, or sand, the FurBuster had no trouble picking up debris. In fact, it scored perfectly in all the surface debris tests, and I did most of those on the low setting. That performance actually pushed me to try something I usually don't do with handhelds, a deep cleaning test. With airflow numbers this high, I figured it was worth seeing what the mini motorized brush could do. And it absolutely delivered, pulling 100% in both of the deep cleaning tests. That's wild for a handheld. The only explanation I could think of is that Black+Decker engineered this thing with carpets in mind, because the amount of vibration it generates on bare floors is intense. On carpet though, that vibration translates into serious agitation and cleaning power. In my runtime tests, the FurBuster lasted 22 minutes and 53 seconds on low and 11 minutes and 19 seconds on max. Pretty solid for a budget handheld you'll mostly use for quick spot cleanups. But as good as the power and runtime are, this is still a budget vacuum. And that's where some of the drawbacks start to show. Let's talk about the cons. The biggest downside is filtration. I run every cordless vacuum through a fog test to see how well the seals and filter contain fine particles. And the FurBuster failed badly. Instead of keeping the fog inside the dustbin, it leaked badly, which tells me the internal seals just aren't tight. The dustbin itself is easy to empty, and the wide opening helps debris fall out. But there's a trade-off. The filter pops off too easily when you tap on the housing to remove stuck dirt. And if you vacuum things like pet litter or quinoa, they'll clog the holes in the primary mesh filter pretty quickly, which means you'll need to clean it more often to maintain airflow. The extendable crevice tool is a nice idea, but it retracts too easily if you don't pull it out fully. Any pressure on it causes it to slide back inside, which can get annoying. The best way to use it is to extend it until it locks into place. Once it clicks, it won't retract. As for the mini turbo brush, it's excellent for deep cleaning carpet. That agitation is why it scored so well in the sand test. But it's not great for long hair. In my test with 1 gram of 5-inch strands, it picked up 77%, but a small chunk got wrapped around the brush. Short pet hair should be fine, but cleaning the tool is another inconvenience. There's no release latch, so you can't remove the brush roll from the housing to clean it properly. One downside of most high airflow cordless vacuums is the noise, and this model is no exception. It exceeded 80 decibels on both power settings. Lastly, the battery is built into the unit, which means if it fails early, the entire vacuum becomes unusable. There's no swapping it out, but if the battery holds up for 2 to 3 years, which is reasonable for a budget handheld, the performance you'll get for the price still makes it a pretty good value. Overall, the Black+Decker FurBuster is a good option if you want a lightweight handheld that can handle both surface and embedded debris on hard floors or carpet without paying Dyson-level prices. Its biggest strength is carpet performance. It pulls up dirt surprisingly well, even deep stuff. And if you have pets, it's a convenient tool for removing hair from upholstery. As long as we're talking about short pet hair, not long strands that will tangle around the brush. If you found this review helpful, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell icon so you don't miss the next vacuum test.